Sony certainly is buying a lot of studios lately, and in particular, this studio has worked on some tremendous things over the years. People are surprised to find out the games that this studio has actually worked in. We have to be honest and say that thanks to social media, podcasts, and all the amount of people that are doing reporting on these video game companies themselves, we find out that there's a lot more than meets the eye, sort of like Transformers. But with that being said, honestly, it doesn't come as much of a surprise because we are going into the more console, away from console wars and more into the actual console content wars, because that's the part that makes the most sense. It's so funny because PlayStation is actually going out there. They're publishing, they're creating, they're hearing. They're doing a lot of things that are tremendous, and it's so funny to see that because there were 3 non-PlayStation studios that got thanked last night at the Game Awards, or the other night at the Game Awards, right? So that's tremendous when you think about it. They're doing a good job of bringing in content creators and winning over game makers, which I think is equally important. I want to get into this because this is a big pickup for a lot of reasons. Hey, what's up, everybody? I'm the Crapgamer, and of course this is Crapgamer Reviews, your home for gaming news, opinions, reviews, and much more. You'll probably notice some cool changes around here, but that shouldn't stop you from giving us a like and possibly consider subscribing if you haven't already done so. Thank you so much for choosing to spend some of your free time with me today. Now, this was a surprise for sure out of nowhere, as Sony today announced that they pick up Valkyrie Entertainment. They're going to be joining the PlayStation Studios family. The studio will be making invaluable contributions to key PlayStation Studio franchises, according to head of PlayStation Studios, Herman Hulst. So there is that, and this is very interesting. So if you didn't know who Valkyrie Entertainment is, they've been a kind of a background worker. So many of you guys might remember an old sitcom called Home Improvement, Tim Allen, but in that he was like the head of an improvement show, and he had a partner who was actually there, who made him look good behind the scenes and kind of fixed his screw-ups and things like that. So think of Valkyrie Entertainment as a studio that works behind the scenes, but they've worked in a lot of games that you've probably played, including God of War Ragnarok, Lord of the Rings Shadow of War, State of Decay 2, Legend of Runeterra, League of Legends, Forza Motorsport 7, Halo Infinite, Valorant, Bloodlines 2, Saints and Sinners, the Walking Dead VR game. They honestly have just had their hands in a bit of everything, and now they're going to be just doing PlayStation stuff. So obviously they proved their worth in many ways, and clearly they're going to be able to go out there and kind of write their own ticket, so to speak. So yeah, this was very interesting, and I gotta say, surprising. Sony has acquired another studio, Guns Up developer Valkyrie Entertainment. The Seattle-based team has worked as an outsourcing studio for much of its lifespan, lending a helping hand to the likes of Gods of War, Forza Motorsport, and titles out of Riot Games. Most recently, it was confirmed to be helping Sony Santa Monica with God of War Ragnarok. Herman Hulst, of course, announced it on Twitter, saying they're going to be making a lot of contributions to key PlayStation franchises. So it very much sounds like Valkyrie Entertainment will continue to help other developers in the production of their games rather than focus on making its own experiences. The aforementioned Guns Up is the only game the studio has made by itself, which Sony also helped publish. However, the Valkyrie Entertainment website does mention of original games coming from the studio. Currently, we are working on several AAA co-development projects and 2 unannounced in-house titles. So there is obviously the potential for new titles out of the developer, but as Herman Hulst says, it sounds like the primary driver behind Sony's purchase of the team is to help out with other titles even more, which again is also a smart point, to say the least. Again, they could make something. I could see them maybe making like a VR title or something along those lines. I don't see why that would be against the realm of possibility. Obviously everybody needs support studios. Think about this. Having a support studio that can help your other studios, they did that prior as well when they picked up that PC port studio or whatever, but they also are a support studio, meaning they help out other studios that need help or whatever, and that's a critical part of being in this kind of business and industry, right? So the reason why I say it's a critical part is because for instance, when you have a support studio like that, you don't have to hire contract workers, which was a big issue with, of course, Halo Infinite, right? We saw how, contract workers can only work a certain amount of time, and then they either have to be hired full time or they have to be let go. So you constantly have this revolving door of contract workers coming in, and it's not a good thing for everybody. Now, does this hurt anybody in the industry? Probably not. It's not something that's going to affect Xbox. It's not going to be something that affects, well, I mean, they did help with some Xbox games, but there's a lot of support studios, and Microsoft has a ton of studios on their own, so I don't really see them as needing to kind of have a studio like this anymore, and there's other support studios, like I said, so I don't think it's a super issue anymore, or a thing where people are going to be like, oh my gosh, I can't believe they picked them up. But these are key pickups nonetheless, and so it's always important to kind of notice this when this happens. They've done a ton of good work. They've helped out. They've been around a lot of winning atmospheres and things like that, so there is that to kind of look at and to say, hey, you know what, this team is good and they can do some good work. And so that's an exciting part to kind of see this kind of come to fruition. And again, it's an exciting time to be a gamer because of all the great things that we see going on right now, not just because of not just because of one thing or the other, but it's all these things working in tandem. It's like a symbiote circle, one thing helping the other. And that's the thing that a lot of people probably don't realize if you're not in the know with Xbox and PlayStation and how these things work. And again, I can only be in the know because I've had some friends that are developers and they talk about this stuff and all the stuff that we don't see behind the scenes and things like that. So that's the very critical point. And everybody obviously is going to be kind of talking about some of these other things that that happens throughout gaming. And again, Microsoft has support studios and they'll continue to get support studios. But what's funny is there have been other support studios that have gone on to do pretty good things of their own, like Saber Interactive. They were a support studio. I think they were one of the ones on that have actually be working on a situation with Halo. They've worked on Halo Master Chief Collection. So again, lots of things like that going on. People everywhere obviously are going to be talking about this because clearly we're going to see more studios get picked up, and we're going to see more of these companies kind of talking about this stuff. And again, it's the content wars more than anything these days. Console wars were fun, but I think content wars actually get us stuff at the end of the day. So that's the big thing that probably drives it for me, is we got to have the content, and that's the most important thing. I would love to hear you guys' thoughts and opinions on this. It really does mean a lot. If you guys could leave me a like, I would appreciate it. Thank you guys for rocking out with me. You guys are amazing. Have a fantastic day. Thank you for just being awesome people and talking. Listen to me talk games. It's a passion of mine. Rack 'em up, fact 'em up, Crap Gamer 'em up. Crap Gamer out.